pro division here. We got Loliesport versus the EXIOUS esports, two teams with the esports suffix, and they're going to be duking it out here, looking to perhaps improve their spot in the standings. And Pulse, welcome, welcome. And
Hello, hello.
we saw the Loliesport play last time,
Mhm.
um, and they did actually end up losing that match. And Pulse, I think I need a refresher. Who did they lose to?
They lost to Orcs GP, so
Hmm.
that's a team that is will also be playing today, and they're on the up and up as well. But that pushed Lowly down to the mid-tier rankings. They're not really.
Oh.
It pushed them down just a little bit, but guess who's right above them? That would be EXIOUS, the team they're going against today. So that they're coming for that spot.
There you go. I mean, that's what you want to be doing right now because LoL Esports, they lost the last one. They're minus two. They were at a plus zero, or I guess just a zero, no plus or minus. And then EXIOUS are currently at a solid zero. They won one and they lost one. This is going to be their third match today against the LoL Esports. And Pulse, we've come to expect kind of from LoL Esports some creative strategies, some wacky strategies. We saw that
Yeah.
last time against the Orcs, and although it didn't work out in the end, I was really enjoying some of the strategies they were running just for the entertainment. Even though they didn't work out in the end, a lot of times Orc was just great at adapting. But I mean, do you think these strategies have a chance against Exius?
Oh, absolutely. They throw a team for a loop once once a team kind of recognizes them, then they see it coming towards them. They get a little confused for a second just
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, oh, you're throwing a May at us like out of nowhere, and like it's a strategy that it's something for teams to adapt to, and it takes a while, and it could take a team by surprise. So. I think we're getting ready to hop in here on Route 66, so we should be pretty close to getting in this, and that is our first map for the day, Route 66. Remember, we still are in round 4, so the map pool is going to be Escort, Assault, Control, and of course, starting on Escort, it's going to be Route 66.
Route 66, a little interesting. We saw this the other day, and the interesting thing was Route 66 is, we see teams play these strategies that involve snipers. It's all about snipers on Route 66.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah, definitely.
part of the reason is just because you have those long sight lines, right? I mean, we saw how much value the snipers were getting last time we saw Route 66, and we got some good snipers here today. So I'm expecting some pretty good gameplay.
Oh yeah, and yeah, that's something we see all the time is that double sniper combination coming out here. It's also a great fair map, so we see that come out often, and I'm excited to see these two teams go head to head. Like I said, these are two mid-table teams still trying to climb and get their footing. Like get off to I guess finding that hot start because at this point in winter in round 4. The mid-table teams have kind of gone on like a win loss, weird alteration where they're just alternating a win and a loss every time they're coming out here. So they definitely want to get like a streak going, and right now would be a good start against a fellow mid-table team. And I feel like today's going to be really close. Today might be the day where we get that round 3.
Ooh, that'd be a little interesting because we haven't seen a whole
Mhm.
lot of round threes. I mean, we haven't seen any round threes really. So if we do see one here, I think it'll be really, really interesting. Just because a lot of these matches I think have been pretty one-sided. That's why we don't see those round threes. And I think I'm gonna agree with you here, Pulse. I really think this match has a chance to
Mhm.
be that fabled round 3 because we've seen from these two teams they're about at that mid-level, and I really think that they're probably some of the closest two teams we can have in this just based on the way they play. And we're going to see that the LoL Esports here is setting up on the defense. Pulse, let's break down this comp.
Yes, they're running that double sniper combination, and that's very predictable for them to set up on top of Big Earls. Influx is going to be up a little bit just to get recon for the team. Going to push in some rockets, recognize that they're running dive, report back to the team, and then hold Big Earls again. So that's what we're going to hold their defense. And Natner, a very good Widowmaker. We've seen it
Oh,
all
yeah.
throughout.
Let's see what he can do here. He's set up in the back, looking for shots around the corner here. Onto 12, takes a couple, but then he's going to duck around the corner. Snuffles just kind of waiting here. They're running dive, so I assume they're waiting for the engage. And look at this, both divas already with the Wave Rider skins. They bought that skin as soon as possible. I just noticed that. That's a little funny. But Dive comes up on top of Big Earls. Chester LP and Influx, their pressure is just a little bit too much. They're going to push them off. A lot of low health members here. Wakazashi takes down Snuffles, and without your Winston, you basically lose the dive.
Yeah, essentially it's going to be a full pull-out for them. Oh, no, the Mercy's caught out of nowhere. Basto's in trouble, and he will be the one to fall.
Influx almost goes over the edge there, but he manages to keep his footing on the side of the cliff, eventually taken down by Adrelli. But I think defense is still going to hold strong here for the time being. Offense has a few respawns they got to wait for.
Yeah, exactly. This is a weird angle for Natner and Brutal to be holding, just because they're kind of far back technically, like while everyone else is holding on top of Big Earls. It's interesting because it kind of gives them a wider sightline if anybody's going around, but it kind of gives them a narrow sightline as well when they're trying to do it. And now look, they're going to be dived on.
Ooh. Trading back and forth there. Jorahara killed, but Snuffles found as well. There's a shatter. Ooh. They know they have no shield. 2 knocked down, but Chester LP is pressured. Influx, though, with the bomb. Double kill, and that's going to end things out here. Wakazashi takes down Pyronal. Chester LP, doesn't matter, that pick, because the defense has basically already won this fight. They got the numbers, although the offense... Oh. Huh. Okay.
Okay. All right.
That was an interesting Dragon Strike, so to speak. But again, offense, they have the spawn advantage. They're coming back in with a dive here. Chester LP is back, but Influx is found because he wasn't there. So I think offense is really going to be able to win this fight. Yep. 3 down. Jorahara remaining. Wakazashi's left. Trying to get the pick on the new baseballs in Yada, but going to give him a fastball right to the face with the help of Adrelli there.
Yeah, 12 switching over to that Doomfist, and that was it's a good idea, I think, just because that's kind of quick power to get in there. Doomfist does have a like very punishable, you know, if you miss your punches, you know, you're very punishable. But if you're trying to win a quick fight, that 12 switching onto that Doomfist, it's a very good pick. It looks like he might be going back to switch, I believe. Yes. But Wally does have the Transcendence, so we do have to watch out for that on the side of defense. It's something to draw out. But double support ults on the side of the defense, so that could be something for them to turn around.
They're going to use the Valkyrie right away. Natner's found with the Brigitte gone. Jorahara might be able to res it. Yep, he's going to be going. Oh, no, actually cancels.
Oh.
Huh. Not sure if he wanted to go for that, if it would just happen by accident there. Might have seen 12 up top pressuring on the Pharah here that he switched to. There's a Diva Bomb coming out from Adrelli. Doesn't find a whole lot. I don't think the positioning was quite right for it, you know, especially with all these corners, right? They can just duck right around on the side of the saloon. And with Chester LP, he was split from the team as a result of that bomb. Unfortunately, he's going to go down, and Brutal is soon to follow. Offense going to keep winning these fights.
Pyronal is going to take out Jorahara, you know, and so you don't have any mercy on the side of the defense. So this is going to be, I feel like, a win in the side of the offense, and Influx, the only one there, is going to fall.
Look at Snuffles here. He's got the Primal Rage, can zone them out when he comes around the corner. But look at Chester. He's waiting here. Snuffles is going to go around and find out. And offense has switched to a bit of a ghost comp here. Here comes Snuffles trying to zone things out with the Primal Rage. Keep everyone locked in this tight corridor. As Brutal and Jorahara are able to sneak by the monkey, but here comes 12 with a barrage, finds 2, both supports down now. All they got is the Zen, and his Harmony, it just isn't enough here, especially when you have the Valkyrie up. Wally's actually does go down, 12's brought back into the fight. This is going to be big because they don't really have a solid counter to him, especially with all their members gone. So defense is going to be pushed back again. Offense can continue to move forward here with 3 minutes left. It's looking really good, Pulse.
Yes, when in doubt, goat it out. That's what the defense is thinking right now, because it seems like a very comfortable comp for a lot of them to go to. But you feel like you need a hit scan essentially to try to take care of 12, or to challenge Pyronal, because without them they're gonna have free reign. Pyronal's gonna pop that. Ooh, there goes a shatter.
There's the counter Transcendence though, so they're able to stay alive. 12 does get caught, but bombs going out on both sides. Wakazashi gonna bubble to avoid, and Chester LP and Brutal are getting the picks here. They find the kills that they need to be able to win the fight. There's a grab. They're just going to move in to finish it off. Wakazashi did fall right away to 12. And if I'm 12 here, I'd switch off the Pharah, Pulse, because this is not really a good spot for her. The ceiling is so low. Right. I mean, I feel like, if I'm Pharah, I'm going to bump my head into it again and again, get myself a concussion.
Yeah, absolutely. We see that often. Pharahs will essentially play it all the way up until you start to move on this point C. 12 at the moment is still on that pick, so it looks like it's just because he's close to his ultimate. Maybe try to get him one more barrage before he goes down, but Snuffles is going to start to engage.
Ooh, let's watch 12 here. He's going in for a bit of a flank. The pressure's on the front line, and he's coming in the back. Nobody knows he's there, and here's a barrage. Lands the rocket, and then takes down Brutal and Influx and finishes off Jorahara. What a triple by him.
That was a very good flank. Nobody was expecting it. Maybe they were expecting him to switch off like we were talking about, but Wakazashi is going to be staggered along with Chester LP, so the tanks have an alternate spawn compared to the rest of the team. It's going to take them a while to get out there. Influx can delay it just a little bit by throwing the bomb on the point, but everybody needs to get going for this Goats comp to work.
Chester charging in, has the Earth Shatter. There's a bomb, gonna use it, not gonna find anything. Coalescence invested by the defense as well. They've already burned 3 of their ultimates, and Snuffles with a counter shatter takes down Brutal. Can they find the pick? No, he's gonna be able to avoid that. Snuffles found. Now Chester LP charging across the battlefield. Is gonna miss his mark, but I think the rest of the team is there. Yep, Natner's shield bashes Adrelli right back to whatever hole he crawled out of, and now Basso and 12 gotta get the heck out of Dodge before they are killed here. And pulls a lot of ultimates invested by the defense. Offense, though, they got some stuff to work with here. They might have a combo next. Grav invested. A little interesting on the cleanup.
Yeah, it is interesting on the cleanup. Even more interesting. I believe 12 used the ult there just to not only hold them back, but to also switch off after they die. Snuffles is really low, though. Have to be careful.
You need to be very careful here because you're pushed in very aggressive, and Wakazashi at high charge gives him a Graviton orb and takes him down. Down falls 12. I think actually Chester LP knocked him into the wall with his hammer, and he killed himself by his own rocket. A little funny there, dying by his own hand. 1 minute left though. There's a grab by the offense, and I think actually offense has a good chance of winning this year. They've gotten the picks. Might see a contest here from the defense. They're Ooh, almost with that sound barrier. Snuffles just wants to zone them out, prevent them. There comes Influx. There's a shatter. Influx is gonna avoid it by bailing out of his mech at the last second, ejecting out of there like James Bond, But huge shatter. Wally's got the Transcendence to counter it, and I don't think it's gonna find a whole lot of value. Brutal's back out, but he doesn't have the sound barrier to sustain himself for a long period of time. And offense is gonna win this one. So I think really it was the mistake of Wakazashi with that Graviton at the end. They should have saved that for the next fight.
Yeah, absolutely. It seemed like cleanup duty, and as soon as that Graviton was used, 12 used the barrage, his final barrage on the Pharah pick. He was gonna switch anyway, so might as well use it. And then he used it to kind of zone him out, and so the Graviton really got no value out of anything there. He switches over to the Doomfist to kind of get that that quick burst, kind of one-shot damage in there. And that's what I think that was the key to kind of ending things out here. I 100% agree with you that Graviton Surge might have been, something they could have used, especially in that last fight, because you Graviton them back, and then it gives your team, a chance to reset. And they were still running the Gopes. There were some panic picks going in there, panic switches going in there. They switched the Tracer to try to just get on the point faster. But yeah, it's something that you have to worry about, is that they didn't really seem like they were paying too much attention to the DPS, the opposition of the defense. 12 and Pyrono weren't really being contested too hard by their opposite numbers, and I get that because they were running the Goats comp, so essentially you're trying to stick together as one unit. But you do have to acknowledge the enemy team's DPS when they're popping off like that, especially 12 when he switched over to that Pharah for point B. There was really no fight there. Point B was taken in the matter of like 30 to 45 seconds, so it wasn't even that long of a fight. 12 now on this defense, he's gonna stay on the Doomfist, so I kind of like this pick.
It's a little interesting. What do you think they're going to be going for here with this Doomfist? Because we know he's good at good pick potential, but he's also countered very easily.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's just because I think he's gonna have to stay with the dive essentially. Once Snuffles and Adrelli dive in, he's gonna have to follow along with them. So just to come in, we have a couple people. Seems like they're calling for a pause right now, so we might get a pause pretty soon.
All right. For the time being, though, Cart's gonna keep rolling here. Snuffles, I see you're not running a Winston skin there. Gotta get that new catcher skin. Looks very, very nice, in my opinion. But Wakazashi, there you go. 12 finds value right away here with the punch. Wakazashi sent right into the wall. Now Influx soon to follow. Demeched. Defense gonna hold on for the time being here as they're just diving in, looking for cleanup kills. Actually, Basso might have been a little bit out of position there. That might cost them the next fight as 12 as well goes a little bit over aggressive. Okay, defense beginning to fall apart here, Might have to eat my words here. I just said, oh yeah, defense going to be very fine. But Pyrono does find 2. Snuffles finally finds Influx. Has to jump back, though. He's getting very low, and with Basso down, they can move in to finish him off. Wally, a little bit out of position here himself. Okay, defense beginning to fall apart. Snuffles is still here, still alive. He's got the Primal Rage, gonna use it to contest. This is an interesting fight. Okay, finally the defense wins that out. I was looked a little shaky for a second. Pyrono fortunately fragged his brains out and was able to clutch this fight.
Oh, actually, I believe you're the leader of the game right now, so they are calling for a pause. Yeah, they're calling for you to pause it.
That is true. I was not aware of that, so my apologies.
No worries. Hey man, you gotta have that chat turned off for the stream, so you know. All right, so we do have a little bit of a pause. I believe the first one to call it. Let's see who the first one to call it was. It was on this. It was a Drelly, so that is EXIOUS' team calling for a pause real quick. It might be something a little bit of an error. So we'll see how what's going on. Maybe we need to do a reset. So yeah, we'll see what's going on. We might have to call the doctor in and see if it's something like that. But we also may just need to pause real quick.
Yeah, a little bit interesting. Calling for a pause. I was not aware I was the lobby leader. I'm not gonna lie. And then chat off for the stream. I'm sitting here. I'm like, wow, I wonder why no one's paused yet. And news comes in. You're the lobby leader. Oh boy, can't be feeling too good about that one. Anyways. Let's look at this. Offense, from what we can see, Pulse, they got 2 ultimates. Defense, all they got is the Meteor Strike from 12 here. They're coming up on Wally's Transcendence and possibly a Drelly's Bomb. But I think Natner, if he can get a big blade here, force it out, and then kill Wally before he can pop the Transcendence, then, I mean, really, that's going to just cut open the entire defense. They're not going to really have a solid way to hold on in the next fight. Here we go. We're ready. Let's get back in.
I agree with you. Wally's going to be the focus just because Wally is really the only thing that could counter that blade full out, outright essentially. So that should be the focus. They do have 2 support ults on the side of the offense, so we do have to be careful. Watch out for that. Brutal might be popping the sound barrier pretty soon once they're ready to engage.
Here comes the blade from Natner. Pyronal cut down right away. Now he's hungry for blood, trying to find Basso, but he's gonna elude his grasp for the time being. Now focusing on the Wally, they gotta know he's got the Transcendence here, and of course, with those Mercy changes, you cannot out-heal Winston no longer, so Wally is taken down before he can use the Transcendence. Adrelli is left to hold on the front line as his tank here, along with Snuffles and 12, but there's not a whole lot you can do. Bomb invested. Jorahara does fall in this fight. There comes the Meteor Strike. Not going to find a whole lot. Defense. Oh my goodness. Pyronal getting a double kill right away, turning the tides of the fight.
Oh, I thought that fight was definitely swinging the side of the offense, but out of nowhere, Pyronal making those hero play Snuffles on a little bit of a cleanup duties and get these final 2 kills, and the defense is going to hold them back yet again.
Man, especially with that opening blade by Natner, I thought they had it. They found the Zen too. No Transcendence, but Pyronal just turned things around almost single-handedly. It's because Basso escaped.
Yeah, I think it's because Basso escaped. Basso was the only one left alive, Wally went down right after that. But Basso's going to be the first one to fall here, so that could be a key difference maker.
Yep, 12 found as well. 2 down, 4v6, now 3v6 as Wally takes a bomb to the face. Probably not the thing you want to see if you are the Omnic. Unfortunately, he couldn't catch that one. He's more used to the pitcher role based on his skin rather than the catcher role. Winston's more suited for that. But offense going to keep pushing here. They've got the cart. And 1 minute left on the clock, though, so they don't have the best of time banks. I mean, really, defense can contest one more time. Do you think they can win it, though, Pulse?
When it is good, they'd have to combine their ultimates really well, and I think Wally's been sitting on this Transcendence for a while, so he might just invest this, right here, get it built up, essentially for that next point. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold it because Natner pops the blade.
He finds Pyronal, but he's being spaced out by Snuffles here. There is the Transcendence that you predicted, Pulse, but also the sound barrier, and both sides really are going to be able to stay alive. Wally's found it, trading back and forth here, but it looks like the offense is finally starting to gain some ground. They found 2. Now, demeching Adrelli, finishing off Snuffles. The offense is going to be able to keep pushing here. They're going to stagger poor little Adrelli. And 15 seconds. Oh, Basso. He didn't get the memo, apparently, that they were abandoning the cart here. So, this is a brutal stagger, actually. Chester.
Yeah, That's something you don't like to see because for this next fight, essentially, they're going to have to hold it around the corner. By the time Basso gets back, this car will have moved a lot. The only one who can really take pot shots right now is Pyronal from a distance. And we'll see if he could find anything. Pyronal, a very good Widowmaker.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
shown looking for Wakizashi at the moment. He senses that Tracer's around there. He was right because we can see through the walls. And he's just waiting for Wakizashi to pop his head. But ooh, a little flicker. He's dancing with Pyronal right now.
I mean, look at this. His spider senses are tingling, right? He's the Widowmaker. But 12 pushing Meteor Strike. Probably not the best of positions or places to use it, as he's found by Wakizashi right away. And Wakizashi fragging out now. Let's take a look at where he is. Look at it. He's all over the battlefield. Just finished off, and now he's up top here. Looking for Basso, who goes in for a risky res. Oh my goodness. Barely sneaking that one off. Using a dropping down to his advantage, but Wakizashi's pressured now by Wally. You don't want to deal with that Zen. Like I said, chucking fastballs into your face. 6 of them all at once is not something you want to see. If you are Tracer, Chester LP's brought back in the fight was found, and offense can continue to push. They got the numbers, 4v6 right now. Respawn's coming, maybe one more fight.
Maybe one more fight if they get there quickly. I could imagine they're investing. They're going to invest both of their tank ults into their Wakizashi. Threw the bomb in, but I believe it was eaten. There is no explosion, so there's no value out of that one. But I was more of a zoning ult anywhere. Natner's going to pop the blade, and there's a desperate Diva bomb in the back.
Wakizashi helps him out to take down Basso, and with the pressure of the 2 DPS, they're going to be able to get the picks that they need, wiping out half the team by themselves, as you got to do as the DPS, especially in that crowded hallway. That was perfect for Natner, and he knew it.
Yeah, Snuffles died before he was able to use his ultimate, so getting no value. They're all going to rush back to spawn. They're going to switch up the comp, and I love this. I love seeing teams switch up the comp. Goated out. Yes, definitely. They're going to run this Goats comp, and it's going to be a hard task for the defense to kind of hold this back. Holding back the Goats comp is one of the most difficult things, especially when they get the ball rolling.
12 switches over to the fair again. Man, that's a little bit interesting. Yeah, because we talked about it before, how the ceiling doesn't really condone to fair well, especially because you have high ground as well that you can just move up to. But I don't know. Last time 12 did pretty well, so let's see what he can do now. Both sides, they're just kind of pushing back and forth. It's really a push-pull game right now. Natner goes in for the stun onto Snuffles. Not going to find a whole lot. Snuffles has to concede ground, though, as he's very low. Basso uses the Valkyrie, damage boosting and swapping back and forth. He's going to be fluctuating the beams, trying to give his offense room. Oh, Chester LP. Reinhardt flying up through the air. Could have maybe charged and killed 12 there. I'm not sure, but Natner is the first to fall. Here's a shatter from Snuffles. Not going to find a whole lot. Blocked mostly by the shield of Wakizashi and the bubbles of Wakizashi and the shield of Chester LP, who is finished off by Wally. And now the defense begins to push them back for perhaps the first time since that initial push. They rolled through second very well. 1 minute left on the clock, though, Pulse. They got to get the ball rolling.
They have a lot of splash damage on their side, running that Junkrat and that Pharah, so there's a lot of explosions, a lot of shield break, coming onto the shield. The shield tanks don't know really where to have a lot to focus on, essentially. But there's a Graviton.
There's a tire. Oh my goodness, Natner takes down the tire, and they're all found. Pyronal does get the counter pick. Brutal just finishes him off in turn. Influx pressuring the spawns kills Wally. 37 seconds and a full team wipe. Oh no, they can't be dilly-dallying. Don't be on the cart right now. You gotta be pressuring the spawns, because then they're just going to be able to come right back out and re-engage in this fight. As you're seeing, Brutal had to taxi Chester LP back. I mean, I didn't know we were in New York over here, but Natner does find Wally. There's a bomb over the top. Actually does find 12. I thought it wasn't going to find anything, and Brutal invests the sound barrier to try and counteract the Graviton surge by Adrelli, who does get taken down. Snuffles was unable to engage on that, so there wasn't a follow-up. And Wakizashi, Brutal, they're all finding the picks. Wally's there for the contest, but as a result, they lose the Transcendence, so they can't sustain their next fight. 12! Ooh, finished off right away. Eaten up by the Diva there. Turned into a nice snack here on Route 66, and the offense pushes it, but in overtime. This is very close. 30 seconds. This is what we said, Pulse. We knew it was going to be a close game, and they're proving it to be already here. Time banks are so close together.
Yeah, I mean, they're only going to get a 32-second boost, so that still buys him, another fight. But by the time you get to point B, everything's going to be in overtime anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you on that 12 Pharah pick. I am not sure if that's the best decision here. Essentially, if you're running against Goat and it's close quarters, you may benefit even a little bit better from a pick like Reaper or something like that, just because you could kind of take the fight to the tanks, up close. But with the double splash damage, essentially with Junkrat and Farah. I don't know if that's the winning key here, especially with Natner, who later switched over to the Widowmaker rather, to kind of get those final hits on the defense. It's just nothing's gonna work too well. Once you're running that in that third point. So I don't know if that was the best move there. They were putting up a good fight. They may have been able to hold it if they just had some sort of not fair.
I think they were going for the double splash damage, and you saw it worked for a little bit, but then as soon as Natner's tire, or no, not Natner's tire, excuse me, it was Pyronal's tire, I believe, shot down by Natner. It just kind of lost value here, but again, Pulse, let's say it again, when in doubt,
goat it out.
there you go. That's what the offense, they live and die by that mantra. But I think if there's a way you're going to counter it, this triple tank with the Orisa Hog is the way. You have the halts, you just want to shut down the shields, and they don't really have a solid way to engage on them.
No, they're running the double sniper, so they're kind of waiting. They do have a lot of shield break potential in this comp, so I agree with you. This is the way to kind of counter them. Once they drop down, I think that's where the fight's really going to start. The two divas button heads. It's like bulls locking horns right there. He's gonna push him off the high ground. Adrelli says, "Don't come up here. This is where my team is." But they are moving the car. There has been no contest yet.
It's just been rolling here. I think they're waiting for a pick. Brutal hooked might have been the first to fall. And here, the ultimate from 12. Not gonna find anything though. Just zoning them off the cart. And he's killed 12 in turn by Natner there. This is where you see the goats beginning to work. Snuffles is gonna be finished off. Wally is soon to follow. 12 switching over to the Farah. And OT, though, can't leave the point. You gotta stay on it. You gotta keep somebody on it. If that's the Lucio, if that's the Brig. I think it's gonna be the Lucio, though, just because he has the wall ride, so he can just get to his team if he needs to.
Yeah, you just switch out for someone who comes back to the cart. 12 is going to switch over to the Farah, a comfort pick, it seems like. They're going to run that double splash damage again, like we were mentioning. Point B lurks a little better than point C. But against the Goats comp, that's where things get a little hard, because Goats likes to take all fights essentially up close. And if you're far away from them, they'll come to you, trust me. Goats will engage. But there hasn't been a single contest on this card yet, and it's going to keep rolling while they're trying to find a pick.
You see, defense is going to... Oh, they get grabbed before they can drop down. They switch up their composition to Reinhardt. And Adrelli maybe wasn't in the right presence of mind. Couldn't get that eat on the grab. So they're going to continue to push here. I don't really like this tank line, though. Ryan Diva, not the best.
Yeah, they're going to get team killed. The whole team's wiped out. And that's going to be a full-on reset. Essentially, this is going to be point B without a contest. They may be able to get there fast if they use... all of the movement abilities in the world, but I don't believe so, especially with Wakazashi holding off that choke.
Oh yeah, he's blocking things off here for the Loliesport and Pulse. Ryan Zarya, what? I mean, we briefly mentioned it, didn't really get to dive into it too much, but I don't really like Ryan Diva just because Diva doesn't do as good of a job as enabling Reinhardt to be aggressive as the Zarya does.
That bubble, essentially, which is invincibility for temporary invincibility. Well, Wally's gonna actually find Natner, so he's fragging out himself on the side of the defense. But there's a shatter in the back, a huge shatter.
Shield. It is a huge shatter. I don't think there's enough follow up though. I think they were too far back. Bomb. Nope. Defense holding here for the time being. 2 down. 12 is still
he has the shatter.
This Farah. A lot of questionable comp choices. I will say that from the side of EXIOUS here. Thought here's a tire. Could possibly turn the tides. Catches Wakazashi. But his grab was simply too much. And they can continue to push forward here. And, okay, Natner switching over to the McCree. I think he wants some pressure. There we go. 12. Good. Switch off.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Switch off that Farah. I love that. There you go. And you switch off this. This is the comp I want to see.
Yeah, Basso going from Mercy to Ana. I love some Ana play. I'll never down that. Zarya's enabling their Reinhardts right now, getting the bubbles on each other, trying to push in. There goes a coalescence on the side of Johara. Two support opens.
Chester's so low, charged, barely stays alive. Actually, Snuffles. Oh no! They left the card alone. Oh man, they were zoned off. Yep. Oh, it flies. It's a huge bomb, but. If only you would have gotten that one a few seconds earlier. But, wow, what a good push. I will say that from the Loliesport. They're a great push. They got a whole lot of progress.
Yeah, point B, they essentially blew through. There was no contest at all. because just the composition was, like you said, odd. The tank line was just not something that doesn't have longevity there. I mean, I essentially I see it for I could see it for certain put situations where like they would require kind of having the diva, but you already have the Reinhardt. But for like a long fight where you're gonna try to hold it out for a long time, it clearly didn't work. They got team wiped instantly, and it wasn't even close. There wasn't like uh there wasn't like, oh, it was a close fight. It was a stomp there. So Loli with those creative strategies right now isn't really doing that. Maybe they're taking they're looking at that last match and they're saying, okay, if we're gonna go against orcs and our
Mhm.
creative strategies aren't gonna work too well, might as well just run what's comfortable. And looks like right now
Oh.
the goats is comfortable.
You see, we saw this on Rialto too. The Loli Esports, they like their ambush goats. They like their
Oh
goats to
yeah.
be a little bit aggressive. They
Hmm.
they like. Oh, actually, hang on a minute. Look at the offense here. They're running this Pirates. Oh no, they're all exposed by Pyronal. This is dangerous. I don't think they quite know that
Uh-oh.
yet. See, they're pressuring. They're waiting though. I
They're
still think they have an
waiting.
opportunity. Oh, look at 12. 12 is set up perfectly where he can try to shut them down. The dive comes in, trying to finish off 12. The nade. Nope. 12 couldn't get up out of his spot. 2 picks. Now, actually, not 2 picks. 1.5 picks as Influx's DMAC might be finished off here. He's dancing around for the time being. Hard to hit the toothpick hitbox of the Baby Diva. Wakazashi is slept. Man, what could have been a good Goats ambush, I think, might be falling apart. Maybe not, actually, as Brutal
Whoa.
and Influx do find the supports. Wakazashi catches 12. Huh, okay. So I guess it does work out in the end. A little interesting there. I thought it was definitely going to go towards the offense because they were exposed at the beginning, but I think 12 not resetting in time or not moving. I don't think he had enough pressure on that Bastion, and they're resetting right back in
Yes.
their top position, which is pretty much where you want to be. They're moving back in for the attack here, but if it's anything like last one, I mean, the defense might have a chance here. Pyronal, though, has got to be careful. Might go down 12. Looking up top. He's on the sphere now, which I do like a lot. Chester LP's caught. Snuffles is caught. Offense does have the spawn advantage, though. Here comes the Graviton Surge. Everyone's finished off.
Yeah, only 12 and Basso are going to be the ones to remain. Basso needs to be careful. I know you have that Valkyrie, but you do have to be very, very careful. And there goes 12. Basso's the only one left. Don't want to get staggered here, just as your whole team is coming back, essentially. But it is overtime, so that was very smart to stay on that cart while everyone was kind of resetting, because that could have been game right there.
That could
They
have
do
been.
have to get this cart rolling, and they have to find a way to break through the defense right now.
It's
Like
gonna
you
be
said,
really hard.
I like that pick. Yeah, but 12 is on his third hero of this side. He was on the Bastion originally, then switched over to the Doomfist, and now is on the Pharah. So a lot of switches, a lot of
Oh!
indecisions, but there's a shatter.
You see, it was enabled by the Brigitte stun, but a counter shatter is gonna find the value. There, though, is a sound barrier. Gotta keep everyone alive for the time being. 12 trying to open things up, but he's gonna get caught. Overtime on the point. Everyone has fallen down. Everybody dead. It's just Wally, and he's finished off. And the Loli Esports hold strong here on Route 66.
Oh, Loli Esports. That was a long first map, but this told us so much about how these teams are going to play against each other.
Oh, yeah.
Jorahara is going to get the play of the game, getting that Moira play. Ooh, it's
Ooh,
the new
the new
tennis
highlight
intro.
intro. There you go. I
Right.
like it.
Uh,
Let's take a look at this. All right. Just, this is what I like to call the assist play of the game, where he gets like one pick out of all of them, and then you're just
Right.
like, why is this play of the game? But it's because he got all the assists. But let's look at this. 22k healing. Jorahara out healing 12. 12 did 22,177 damage. Jorahara healed 22,768 healing.
ooh.
Man,
Got a whole other tank in there. That's like a tank's difference. So that's very that I think the key in that match was the compositional picks. These teams are very close. Clearly, mechanically, they're going head to head often. Especially I loved it when the DPS were actually taking on each other. When there was a DPS, there's a lot of goats comp in there. So, but EXIOUS. A little compositional errors, just some quick changes. It could have been a close match, but because EXIOUS was running these odd comps that just didn't really seem like to work out, and Loli Esports was running the comfort of Goats comp. That thing that works is always going to be something you're just kind of throwing out there and trying to see if it works in that moment. So Loli Esports is going to win out Route 66, and Yeah, there's something weird going on. Sorry, we lost our host. So
Yeah. Like I said, I am the lobby host. I have control of everything. I am the mastermind behind it all. The puppet master pulling the strings. It's me, ladies and gentlemen. But in that last match, EXIOUS, I totally agree with you, Pulse. I seriously think that if they would have switched off some of their comps earlier, I think because they stayed on that Ryan Diva for a tad bit. I don't think they wanted to quite switch off of that. If they would have switched off of that earlier and put 12 on a hero where he could have found more value in that last point, I really think they would have had a solid chance.
yeah, well, especially we saw it in every situation essentially. During
Yeah.
that second round, EXIOUS, it seemed like they were not sure what they were running on the point B defense. They were running the Ryan Diva comp, and like you said, that doesn't enable the Reinhardt too well. And well, it looks like we're going to move on to Temple of Anubis. I'm hoping that we get some better compositions out of EXIOUS because
Oh
it
yeah.
looks like they can bring the fight to Loli. Like I said, I have a feeling that this could be the match that goes to a third round. So I just feel like it's so close. It's so close. If EXIOUS just makes a tiny little change, they can absolutely come back and win this for their team. As we're gonna hop right into Temple of Anubis.
Temple of Anubis. Let me take a hot second here and let's update this overlay. Why don't we? But the Temple of Anubis. Let's talk about this for a second here, Pulse, because Temple of Anubis, we've seen teams. There's a lot of different ways you can play the defense. We've seen them boost themselves up to the high ground. We've seen them. We've seen teams, use just the initial high ground, on that little mount here by, I don't know what exactly you'd call this little marketplace, I suppose. They will hold there. They can hold on the high ground. All sorts of places to hold here. And actually, you know what I'd love to see? Some Symmetra. I know if anyone recalls Seagull's stream that one time, they teleported themselves up to this high ground here that you are currently looking at on the stream, and they were using that to their advantage, just teleporting up there and back. I thought that was really interesting, but they might run that. Probably not here. Want to go for a more classical Ryan Diva?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
No. I don't like this one bit, but
Loli, come on, man.
they might got something up their sleeve. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see here. But again, we talked about it. I don't really think this comp enables their tank lines that well. So we'll see what Influx can do in terms of enabling Chester LP. That'll be the thing to watch out for. And hopefully the pressure from the double sniper is enough to hold back the offense here, who are still memeing around in spawn. Look at this, Snuffles. What are you doing? Oh my goodness, you're gonna give me a headache spinning around like that.
So they're going to run the classic dive on the offense. Influx is going to do a little recon. Telling team, all right, they're running dive, everyone. Get ready. Batten down the hatches. They're running dive. They're going to rotate here on this left side. They start to go in this little room. Wally, oof. Getting very, very close.
Dive trying to engage on the 12 is going for a bit of a flank here. Dive is engaging through the marketplace, though. 12 wants to pressure Pyrono, but he rotates in a position where he's going to be all right, or Natner, rather. He's going to rotate in position, and he finds the kill on Pyrono.
Oh, that's opening it up.
Yep. I think defense really has a chance here. Yeah, 12 has to engage. Very risky here. Able to deflect and get his way out of that one, but Dive comes in. D-Mac, 12 actually does catch Wakazashi. Natner wins the Widow duel once more here, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Natner, really, it's hard for him to find the picks because he's pressured here. But Brutal, okay, gives us Snuffles an orb to the face. Sees how he likes it. And Drelly has to reset up top. Natner catches Wally. And that's gonna do it, actually. I was afraid for the defense for a second.
Yeah.
Interesting comps, but Natner, again, fragged his brains out once more. Caught Pyronal right away. We saw Pyronal fragged out last time on Route 66, and now Natner might be trying to even the odds here in terms of Widow duels.
Yeah, Influx got team-mech'd in that fight, so just kind of shooting people to get that back up. Wakazashi switched over to the Tracer on defense, so it is I don't know. Loliesport is known for their creativity, and they're definitely showing some creativity here. Nothing about this comp is screaming, normal to me. The dive is gonna come in.
You see, Widow is gonna Spider-Man her way out of that one, but 12 moves in. and takes her down while he has the opportunity. Natner gets res right back into the fight, but here comes the Primal Rage from Snuffles, trying to knock Natner into the wall, and Pyronal finally going to even the odds here and gets the kill. 12 brought back into the fight. Valkyrie invested on both sides, but the offense is going to be able to win this one out. And Pulse, as we move into point B, what do you expect here? We got ultimates on both sides. Who's going to win things out?
You have to switch the comp. It's bothering me so much because I'm thinking like all the value they could have gotten if maybe they were running a Zarya as that as that off tank role. So maybe we see Influx throw the bomb early just so we could get a switch. But Natner switching over to the Genji. You're right. We do have a lot of ultimates. They do on the side of the defense. They have the Transcendence and the Pulse Bomb. So the Pulse Bomb is going to try to get tucked onto someone, and they didn't really find anyone out of that one.
Eaten up by the Diva of Adrelli, who's been very good. Here's a Shatter, though. Not going to find a whole lot now. Blade invested, Transcendence invested. They're putting all their eggs or ultimates in a basket here. Does seem to be working in their advantage, though, because 12 cuts down Chester, LP, and Wakazashi. With Jorohara and Natner down, they got 2 ticks. I don't think there's going to be a reset. Influx! Oh my goodness, he barely makes it there. Brutal uses his Transcendence to get on the point. Wakazashi's caught before he can get out of the spawn. Influx uses the bomb. Natner, whoa, Chester, LP. Whoa, hold on a minute here.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Is Hammond allowed? Hold on.
Hold on.
Maybe he is. I'm not sure here. Hang on a minute. Let me confirm this because I am, of course, the lobby leader.
Uh-oh.
Let me see. We'll get right back to you. Oh, okay.
Oh,
he is.
okay.
All right. Well, no problem then. Yeah, let's.
Nobody wanted to inform us, but. Oh, I see. Oh, he's available in comp play now. So I guess
of course. That's what makes sense. Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Our fault. Our fault. NA casters. NA hosts.
NA hosts, yes. Literally NA hosts because everyone else is in Russia. But whatever. All right, let's unpause this here so we don't see this ugly paused over the round 1 complete. Very nice by the offense there, steamrolling using that aggression. I think Pulse. Ryan Diva. That's what did it.
Ryan Diva.
Could not enable Chester LP good enough.
No, not at all. And they could then with that, their punishment is that the enemy team gets a 53-second bonus, compared to the normal time. So maybe on the side of the defense, once if they're able to cap 2 points, Loliesport, if Loliesport is able to cap 2 points, once they switch over sides again, they're gonna have to hold them back for 5 minutes instead of compared to 4 minutes. So that's kind of their punishment for that. But it's just I appreciate the creativity, but look, I know everyone likes the new wave racer skin. But come on, we can't be running that. Just to look at the skin. I know when she flies, the propellers spin. I get it.
I saw that. That was really cool. I thought that was a nice touch. But hey, Pulse. How many times have we said this here? When in doubt,
goat it out. Here we
go.
There you go. Well, Wakazashi at the moment is on the Widowmaker, so I imagine we see the switch coming in. But yes, goat's comp. Something's very strong. Everyone's running it right now. If you're playing Overwatch and you have 5 friends, you can imagine you run the Goats comp. Symmetra on the side of the defense at the moment might be going back to switch.
Yeah.
It was definitely teleporting. Yeah,
that's it. I was about to say they're teleporting their Orisa and their Zen up to the high ground because everyone else can just get up there normally except for them. And I like this because normally you see the Mei boost instead, but that requires a lot more preparation and is prone to error. But the teleporter, I mean, if you miss a teleporter, all right, come on. What are you doing here? But
yeah.
I think actually Wakazashi might... Oh, okay, no, never mind. He's going to switch over to the Tracer. I was going to say he might stay on the Widow just because he can set up a crossfire on the point. But, so this is a modified Goat. It's a little interesting with this Tracer. Maybe they want to have some flank pressure. They got to watch out for this trap, though. Nope. Spotted by Jorohara.
Yeah, but Ryan Diva again. There is nothing to kind of let Chester swing his hammer away. There is no bubble to kind of let him go in there. So Influx, it has a lot on his shoulders right now. Look, he's essentially putting the defense matrix on Chester.
Trapped. He's getting the defense matrix though. Good response from Influx to keep him alive, and Wakazashi's found right away. And this is why you run this high ground defense right here. It's so hard for the offense to try and contest you and push you off, especially because you just have all this damage.
Right.
I mean, in the words of Phil Swift, that's a lot of damage. And Natner does get caught. Adrelli is there to contest the point, and that's all you have to do. You just sit your Diva down there, contest the point. Does get demech'd. Might want to apply some flex tape on your mech. Might keep it alive. But actually, Okay, counter pick. Snuffles does
Ooh.
drop down. One tick on the point, but defense is going to hold strong, but Snuffles is forced to drop.
Yes, Eggsy is showing a lot of improvement compared to last game. And this is this like I said, this could be the one to go to round 3, and right now it's feeling like it just because the defense is holding strong. 12 has the tire, so it could end up push right now. Jorahara has to be careful because even during that coalescence, a tire will end your life. Wally and Basso both closer, but here comes the tire. It's going to try to go into the backline maybe.
12 looking for it. He's consulting
Ooh.
his GPS, perhaps. Finds Chester LP and
nice.
Brutal. Very nice. Jorahara faded his way out of that one. He's just fading his way back into the spawn now. Might be switching off this comp, or it might just be regrouping here. Goats has to work together as a unit, so.
Yeah, oh, Chester LP is going to switch over to the
dive.
Winston, so they're going to go to a dive, yeah.
This swift striking into the wall there.
You know, he has to climb that wall. Niner's getting ready. Look, he's in a sneaky position. He's looking at them. Look, it's looking like he's a shark waiting to pounce on some prey right now. Up on that high ground, he's gonna dive down pretty soon. Wally does have the transcendence, so if Niner tries anything funny or is putting a lot of pressure on them, you could imagine Wally coming in.
Wakazashi's found right away, and they can't res that cuz they got no mercy. And Chester LP dives his way into the point, but it looked a little disjointed there. And as a result, Chester LP is going to be go down right away. But Natner, that's a key pick. He finds Wally, no transcendence, but he is found. In-turn bomb, catches 12. Couldn't get back in time, but I think still defense is going to hold on. They got the res, 12's brought back. Wally could just make his slow walk back to spawn. Here comes Snuffles with a supercharger just to end things out and clean up.
Oh, Pyronal, jeez. Yeah, I love this. I like you said, I appreciate the high ground defense. You know, every time they've been setting up, it just enables Pyrono so well. You know, they're raining down all this spam damage on them, and then Pyrono, you know, like because there's 2 roofs looking over the point. You could essentially split your team up and just wait for the shields to look one way, and then just Pyronal taking shots on everyone. I love this defense.
Absolutely. Look at 12 here, though. He's got the tire, gonna use it right away. Let's see if he can find anything like he did last time. Catches Brutal, and that's big because they got no sound barrier. They can res it, though. They switch to the mercy of Jorahara, and 12 now knows where they're approaching, so he's going to move up there to pressure. Waiting for now.
Yeah, waiting for now. I love how Wally's been sitting on this Transcendence forever because he hasn't really had a need to use it. The whole dive is finally ready to come in, and 12 is going to be the first one to be found.
Wally took the bomb, but he's going to be able to transcend his way out of all damage. Pyrono, though, does get taken down. He's cut down by Natner, and Wally's found as well. Blade, I think this is going to open things up for the offense here. They invest the bomb. Going to catch Natner, actually, on the side of the defense. Chester LP is brought back into the fight. Snuffles is killed. And finally, Loliesport have capped the point. And 12 looking for the catastrophe. He's being very aggressive on this Doomfist, though. But even though the best defense is a good offense, I mean, that's the name of his ability, they're going to be shut down. And now point B, but again, Pulse, look at the time banks. Even if they cap it right away, they'll still have less time than EXIOUS did. They got
exactly,
the
and I don't believe they're going to cap it right away. Pyrono switching over to the Brigitte just to have some longevity in there, but they're... Oh, Snuffles is very low, and Wally goes down!
Double. Wally and Snuffles both found. 12 trying to turn the tides here, but with a Drelly deep mech as well, it's not looking too hot here for the defense. Basso uses the Valkyrie, just holding up top like a moth. You know, that's where the name comes from. Here comes the res, though, onto 12, or Pyronal, rather, bring him back into the fight. That's big, because you have the Brigitte, and he does catch Wakazashi.
Yeah.
And Brutal does catch Wally. Basso's found. No supports beyond Pyronal. He's only got the Inspire, but as a result, they're going to drop off the point. Okay, Adrelli's there. I was a little bit worried for a second if they were actually going to C9 in the middle of the fight. But Jorahara is found. Pyronal in turn, though, but it doesn't matter because the defense is pushing them back for the time being. And again, Pulse, we talked about the time bank there. You saw they invested the bomb, they invested the Primal Rage, they invested the Diva Bomb, and both bombs, actually, Pulse and Diva Bomb. And they couldn't find anything because 2 CP low. That's all I gotta say. 2 CP low.
The spawn advantage was too much for them to handle. This fight, you know, they're investing, you know, these are long fights. These are 45-second to a minute-long fights, and, you know, that's always going to favor the defense, especially on 2 CP. And here comes the blade from Natner, though.
The Transcendence is there as a response, but here comes Brutal with a sound barrier as well, responding in turn. Both sides moving back and forth. It's like chess, but 4D and also underwater. But Brutal dancing his way around the point on the Lucio. Wants to keep his team alive as well as himself, but 2 go down. 12 with the Meteor Strike to open things up onto Wakazashi. Chester LP found as well. It's all clean up now for the defense here. They're just looking to sweep him under the rug. Actually, Nightner looking to pressure Basso, but he's going to Guardian Angel his way out of that one. Defense
yeah, Influx staggering
no.
him. Poor Influx.
Oh, they're gonna finish
Trying to
him
get
off
back
right
to his
here.
team. Yeah, they're like, nope, not getting back up.
I mean, that's like a mafia style execution. They kneecapped him. Poor guy.
Oh, they're gonna switch to the goats comp. I like this comp. They do have a lot of switches. That's four. That's 4 of your 6 heroes switching. So you don't have any ultimates. No,
Yeah.
not even close. So it's gonna be a hard test running into them, especially if Basso is on has the Valkyrie and 12 switching over to the Sphere to trying to rain down some bombs. So.
Pulse, how many times have we said it? When in doubt,
Got it out,
There
but
you
Joe
go.
R is going to be found.
that's
So,
the opening pick, and Natner caught as well. Again, defense gonna hold here. Good 2 picks, open things up on the supports. Influx D-Mac. Oh no, not another stag. Okay, good. They didn't quite stagger him as brutally that time. There was the opportunity to.
Yeah, but the team was a little too close. Didn't want to mess around too hard. But now they're keeping up the pressure. Adrelli, Pyronal moving up just a little bit. Maybe they're scoping it out, see if they're switching the comp again. But Brutal is close to the sound barrier, so that could be something to just kind of push their in, especially with the goats comp. You want to move fast, use the sound barrier, switch to speed, boost them onto the point. That could be what their plan is at the moment. They're going to rotate to this left side.
I like the approach through the tomb. There's a bomb
Uh-oh.
right in. Oh no, Brutal. The shield couldn't be up and block it in time, and he's gonna fall. There's no sound barrier now, and Jorhara's killed as well. 30 seconds left.
Falling apart.
Okay, hang on a minute. Next push, they got ultimates. They just gotta get back to the point in time. Really, everyone's just gotta mash that Q button if they want to have a chance at winning this. Pulse, how are they gonna do it? They have the grav. Could they possibly use that?
I'd say they open it up with the grab. Yeah, that could work, but you have to find some key picks in 12 or Basso or something to open it up. It's going to be a very essential. They only have 10 seconds to get on the point. There's a lot of pressure.
There's a speed boost. 12! 12 comes up huge with a double, but Influx responds in turn with a double. Brutal's on the point. He's looking for the contest. He had the sound barrier, and Influx needs to get there as fast as possible, but he used the bomb at the beginning. Again, he doesn't have a fresh mech, and he's going to be demeched. It's all up to Brutal. How long can he sustain himself on this point? It doesn't seem like for long. He's trying to dance. He's trying to stay alive, but the jazz musician is eventually taken down, and here it is, Bulls. The fabled round 3. EXIOUS holds strong, and we're going to see it. We're going to see the round 3. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. Oh, EXIOUS performing at the level I knew that they could perform at. They were so close in the last round. It was just so, like something about the composition that wasn't working, but now they switch on the compositions that'll work for them. They're able to hold back the GOATS comp here, especially when they have all those ults. 12 opening it up with some huge barrages there at the end. Oh, goodness, what a close match, and I'm so excited for this round 3.
That was amazing. Well played from the EXIOUS, able to hold strong. And now, Pulse, moving into the round 3. Let's see what it's gonna be as we head on back to the lobby here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a control map. Loliesport is awarded, the pick. So we'll see what they choose. This is our first round 3 here in Russian Overwatch Pro Division, so I'm very excited with these 2 mid-tier teams. These teams essentially almost have the same record. So these 2 teams are showing why that's going like that, because they're so close. The DPS on both sides are just popping off so well. 12 Pyronal, such a good combination. They're able to hold them back. They do have. It seems like they have a little bit of a limited hero pool, just a little bit, just because 12, it seems like he likes the Pharah Doomfist. He's either on one of them or on something else. But it's going to be Nepal for this round 3, and this is going to be for it all. This is the deciding factor.
Absolutely. It's all up to the defense here. Or no, what am I saying? Not the defense. This is King of the Hill. There is no defense. It's all offense. All right. Just ignore me for the time being. But Nepal Village is what we're going to start on, Pulse. What do we expect here? What have we seen from teams in the past?
Well, I mean, the meta's always changing, so I've loved seeing some of the picks that these pros get creative with, especially on this certain map, just because they want to do it. We have some people calling for a pause, so we're gonna get a pause here real quick. I don't know what's going on. We might see. We'll see what's happening. But definitely, we see a lot of pharmacies here. Maze, like I said, like I mentioned earlier. Brian Zarya is definitely it's a popular tank line just because you want to take fights up close, and Ryan swinging his hammer away, very very useful. Widowmakers are just everywhere. Widowmakers are in every map.
Oh yeah, Widows. It's always Widowmaker. Let's be honest. They're everywhere. I mean, it's like it's an infestation really of just spiders. They're all over the place. Nasty. Somebody call an
Oh,
exterminator.
there we go.
Oh, we are ready to go here.
All right, both teams getting ready. Just a little something to prepare them, and EXIOUS right now, they got to be feeling good after that win because they got shut down essentially from Loliesport
yeah.
last time, and now after getting that win, they're getting the taste.
Fired up.
Remember, yeah, but this is gonna affect the records a little differently than what happened before because instead of a +2 or a -2, now it's only gonna be a +1 or a -1 because both of them have won one map, so it's gonna shake up the standings just a little bit. EXIOUS at the moment might be running a sort of it looks like they're gonna run the Winston Diva with 12 on the Pharah and Pyrono. Ooh, he's gonna play the Tracer. I like that because it kind of throws a wild card in there because now you don't know where to look. While on the other side, it's kind of a semi-go. It's just with the Reaper.
Wakizashi, we've seen him play this Reaper before. They have played, this Reaper Mei strategy, but I guess they're forgoing the Mei for that Ghost. You know what, Pulse? While I was updating the overlays, just to drive home the point that we have never had a round 3, I didn't have any text there. It was literally just placeholder. So had to change that one in a Paul. But 12 opens things up. Brutal is found right away, and now counter picks both sides. 2 down, 3 down on the side of the Loliesport. 4. Can we make it 5? Let's see. As Wakizashi's on the point, can they get the full team kill? Let's see. Nope. Respawns come in, so it won't be a full team kill. But regardless,
actually, Wakizashi is still putting up a fight. Took down 2
Brutal.
with him.
No.
No, that's not good. Thanks.
All right, sorry. They can just reset here. But EXIOUS Esports gotta cap the point first. They can start holding strong. I like this dive that they've had to shut down the Goats comp.
Yeah, Loli is it seems like they're running out of, control. Like the match was firmly in their grasp out of round 1. They won it out pretty convincingly. 12 is going to barrage him.
12.
Oh, you could almost see that from a mile away. You saw he had it. He was taking shots before they even walked through the choke.
That's a full team wipe.
Yeah, it's a full team right. Pyrono on some cleanup duty getting the final one. 12 did fall there, but the easy res with Basso. And it's going to be, like you said, a full team wipe. They bought themselves essentially 10% with that wipe. So before the fight even starts. So very, very good.
Bombs
Use
open.
a stuck. Ooh.
Influx going to be able to stay alive, though. He was the one that was stuck. He's going to stay alive here. He has the Graviton. Surge could use it, but there's a bomb as well. Trying to lock them out. You see, Reinhardt, Chester LP is going to charge there, but Influx was left all alone. Stranded in another barrage by 12. Again. My goodness, finds Chester LP before being taken down by Wakizashi. But I think Nadner, I like to switch over to the McCree. Gives him the stun so he can take down Pyronal and also gives him anti-air pressure onto the Pharah as well. So I think Loliesport switching up their composition here is going to really pay off for them as now they've shifted the momentum. They have the advantage here. They have got the ultimates to work with.
Right, let us remind you the original comp was the Goats comp, but instead of the Diva, they had the Reaper. Now they're switching it up. Wakizashi switching from that Reaper over to the Tracer. Now Nadner on the McCree, like you said. I really like that pick. Joe is getting pressured down, and there's a high noon.
It almost caught Basso, but he was able to escape. Here's a grab. Adrelli wasn't looking for that one. He's going to be demeched, and Snuffles finished off even through the Primal Rage. Batted down now by Chester LP. They do get the res. Chester LP is now trying to turn the tides almost single-handedly, charging onto the point valiantly as the Crusader does, but he's fallen like his master Baldric here, has 12 finishing them off. Nadner's pressure was good for the time being, but you know what I noticed? When Snuffles dove in, he didn't use the flashbang to try and stun him and get the kill, which I think really actually would have been able to almost single-handedly win that fight. So a little interesting. They switch over to the Pharah now to try and counteract 12 here, but 12 has almost got another barrage. Oh!
Okay! Wakizashi.
He's gonna answer right away, switching over this Pharah. Wally's pressuring him enough where he has to invest a Transcendence. Pyronal does catch Juraharia, though. They are able to res Brutal back into the fight, who just switched over to Zen, mind you, so he doesn't have the ultimate. And 93% on the point. Can they even make it back, Pulse?
Maybe not to 12. Spinning around there. The Tracers of Nana is going to be able to touch the point, but isn't going to be able to live for a long time. First map, going over to EXIOUS Esports. They're finding their footing in this first round. You know, it definitely didn't seem like a team that would be able to win this out, and it's something that like I love seeing is just improvement in the middle of the match. You know, we talked about their odd compositional picks with kind of the Pharah and Point C of Route 66 or the Reinhardt Diva, but now they've improved so much to the point where they're running comps that make sense, that are a little more natural, and with that they're able to take the fight right to Loliesport. While on the other side, Loliesport, you know, they had firm control of that first map, and now it seems like they're slipping out of their hands. It seems like they're still trying to find a way to kind of take on this new EXIOUS team. They're going to run a semi-GOATS comp. They don't have the Zarya anymore, and I don't know if that's the right tank to switch out.
Well, I think what they're going for with the Roadhog here is that they want to get the picks, you know, with the hooks to drive them into the pit, much like the EXIOUS are doing here. But Snuffles, oh, he's got to get out of there. You know you're a horse, but you can't run that fast when you're that big and mechanical. But Wakizashi and Brutal, 2 picks right away, 3 actually if you count Snuffles. He's brought back into the fight though, and the GOATS comp. All right, Pulse. Let's say this is what, the 6th or 7th time. When in doubt,
go it out. These guys, GOATS comp is too strong for these guys to handle. They're going to cap the point. Loliesport taking it first, and it seems like this is a definite comfort comp for Loliesport. I mean, I think it's legitimately when in doubt. You know, they don't know how to counter this team right now, so they're just going to be like, all right, let's just run GOATS. See if they can take the fight. Yeah, take the fight up close. And I love the rotation on the left side. Very good game sense, you know, to come up with that strategy. Kind of as soon as the gates are open.
Should we say they're just goatsing for it? Okay, that was all right. Ha ha ha. Great pun. Yeah, I know. Oh, 12 pressured by Wakizashi. Gonna be able to get out of there as fast as he can. But Snuffles charging in actually does catch Chester LP, and Natner's found, you know, as a nice little bonus there. You know, it's like you go to McDonald's, you order a nice meal, you get the hamburger as well as the side of the fry. In this case, Reinhardt is the burger and Brigitte is the fry. And now, oh, charge! Oh my goodness, Chester LP skirting the gap. I know you saw that one. That was close. He almost went over the edge here. I think he might have to go over the edge here though, because I think everyone's losing. Might just have to go for a reset. Oh, charging onto the point. Okay, actually could open things up. Natner's back. There's the small fries there again, but Chester LP just.
Jarhara. Oh no! Why are we here? Why are we fighting on point right now? Okay.
They might have been going for some extra contestation because, you know, they got it up to 59, almost 60, almost a nice round even number, but unfortunately not. But now the defense in terms of EXIOUS here, Basso holding that front line with the Mercy Blaster. Pyronal's got the Dragon Strike, could possibly open things up. Defense got a lot of ults though, or offense has a lot of ults rather.
Yeah, they're going to use the rally instantly. Everyone's armored up. Look at all that. Look at all that yellow added to their health bar.
Oh, here comes the
that's
charge.
all that armor. Ooh, the charge. Yeah, you're right.
Shatter, no!
Ooh, the shatter,
blocked by Snuffles. Oh, here comes 12. Again with a barrage. We know he's found value, and he finds Chester LP. A lot of ultimates on both sides, though. They invest the Transcendence. They invest the
barrage and Dragon.
They invest the Shatter, if I'm not mistaken, from Snuffles there as well. And they only got the grab here left. So 4 ultimates used, and all the offense used was the Shatter. So 1 ultimate for the price of 4. I'll take that deal any day.
Exactly. Yeah, that's something, you know, these offenses need to learn, use essentially. You know, you're not going to win this fight up close. You have to let them use some ultimates first. They're going to rotate on the left side. Yeah, they're going to drop down here.
This is good because they can't get really pressured by the Pharah that much, and Natner almost takes a Drilly over the edge there. Oh, yeah. Down he falls though with the hook. Oh my goodness, Influx with a triple bomb. That's gonna win the fight single-handedly here as they get a full team wipe. Influx, where'd you pull that one out of?
Okay, coming out of nowhere. I thought. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm still in shock from that because that fight was definitely going in the side of EXIOUS, but out of nowhere, Influx. Oh my goodness. We have a match here, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the Graviton.
Gonna try to open things up. 12 is there. Oh, he's gonna get shattered though. And now Influx back up, ready for more though. He's looking to try and get the tanks, but they've gotten more percent on the point. I think this is what they were going for. Even if they lose this fight, they can afford it. But with Wakizashi picking off Pyronal like that, now Wally as well, I think Loliesport can hold strong here. We might go to a round 3. But maybe turning the tides with that Dragon Strike. I don't know. What do you think? Bruno is down. Niner
Snuffles
fallen.
is very
Adrelli
low.
trying to get it. Chester LP's got to be careful here. He's got the support from his Moira. The healing juice is there. Trying to sustain him, but it's not enough. Pyronal does take him down, and Jorahara found as well. Here we go. He's getting neck and neck now, Pulse. One more fight here on the side of... Oh, Wakizashi's still there. He's taking out Brutal. No. Yes, good.
Yes, okay, so on the side of Loli Esports, you do have some ultimates getting built up. You have the Coalescence, you have the Whole Hog, Influx getting close to those bombs, and Influx could land another big bomb, but you have to take out 12 or make him use the ultimate and make D.Va eat it up first.
You gotta bait that
12.
out. No,
oh,
Influx.
no, Influx is DMAxed.
Oh, no. This could spell disaster in the name of 12 here with the Pharah. He's looking for the barrage. He knows they're on the room. Natner is going to stun, and here comes the barrage. They're shattered. They're knocked down. Chester LP, but here comes the whole hog. Wakazashi trying to turn the tides, 99 and 99. Whoever wins this, EXIOUS knows they want to win this, but Loli Esports, they're trying to hold on as best they can. Pyrono with the double, opening things up. Is anyone there? Wakazashi, he's trying to get there. He's taking a breather. He's on the point. Here comes another bomb. It's going to find 12. Influx trying to turn the tides. Is it enough? He's the one left on the point looking for Wally here, who's in the side, but he's demeched once more. Chester LP coming back now. If he could get the shatter, this will be huge. Knocks him down, but it's not going to be enough. And EXIOUS Esports is going to win this one out on a pole. What a close match that was. EXIOUS just proving themselves a tiny bit better in terms of playing together as a team, using their Pharah, finding value with the ultimates, and who else gets play of the game but 12 here, Pulse.
It was gonna be. Oh yeah, this was the barrage one. Yeah, see, like you kind of see it coming. Essentially, I don't know how they weren't too prepared for that, especially when they felt the rockets before they even went in. They need a sex double kill and the res in there. There's a little help. There's a little help from Basso, but like you said, EXIOUS Esports winning it out here, showing how good that they could be. Oh, they flipped it all the way to our first round 3.
What a close match that was. EXIOUS finally winning things. And Pulse, why don't you break down the numbers for us here? Why, or no, not why, rather. Where are each of the teams moving after this match?
So, since they were both in that kind of middle of the standings, EXIOUS gets only a +1 out of this because it did go all the way to round 3, but it's still better than Loli Esports, who drops down to -3. So they're